Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Brother Sister Show on a very special edition. Today, we are talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. And we are doing it a little bit differently. Right now, as we speak, we are, well, as not as you're listening, but as we are talking, we are recording this on the day of seeing the new Spider-Man movie. So we're going to do like in 3 parts, I think. We're going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. And so at the beginning, we're going to talk about our predictions. Anthony's seen some of the Spider-Man movies, so we're going to, or all of them. So we're going to talk about that. We're talking about our predictions, our wishes, our dreams, our hopes. And then the middle is going to be a little vlog of the day of, like, you know, what we've been doing to prepare ourselves mentally and physically for this movie. And then we're going to end talking about the movie. So yeah, let's start off talking about the live action experience you've had the past few days.
Yeah, so I started with Tobey Maguire's, obviously. You got to go back to your roots. That's my childhood right there. Ever since Kayla got me them on DVD, I've been eager to rewatch them, and it started late last week. And I got to say, all of them it's like a solid trilogy. Mm-hmm. Through and through. I mean, yeah, the third one...
Dark Knight Who is what I say.
The third one sucks.
Yeah.
But it's like a guilty pleasure of mine, honestly.
Yeah. Is that the one where people... There's one that people don't like because it mostly just focuses on not even Spider-Man, but Peter Parker. Is it the third one or the second one?
That one's kind of the second one because he like loses his powers a little bit.
I like it, though.
Yeah, I think that one's a close second. I mean, I like them in the order. Like my favorite is the first one, and then second is number 2. Mm-hmm. But one thing I think that the original trilogy does so well is it just focuses on Peter Parker. Something Tom Holland's rendition I think lacks.
Yeah, there's a little bit more.
No fault to him. I think if he was given as much like character development as the original, I feel like he would be fantastic. Excited to see how that plays out in this one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, even the villains, like my greatest, like, and I want to travel the multiverse and see the 4th movie because it has to be made somewhere. Because
probably there was going to be one.
I think so. I think there was talks. I think there's like a short clip of one of the fights that Sam Raimi like either had animated or drawn out, and it's a fight. I forgot who it's with. I think it might be someone from the Sinister Six, but I think it might be Scorpion. And it's like super brutal, and it's amazing. I gotta find it somewhere and drop it in the description.
Yeah, I've never heard this before.
But it just felt so perfect because there's so much build-up that you didn't even realize that was like laying in front of your freaking face with Bruce Campbell's character. But it would have been a perfect Mysterio. Because I think, I don't remember which one it is, but he even like mentions illusions or something. Like they like make a point to say, for him to say illusions.
Yeah.
Solid trilogy. And then I went to Andrew Garfield's. Not as good. But I like them a lot more than I remembered. Especially the second one. I know everyone shits on the second one a lot. For good reason. With the way that they portray Harry Osborn and the Green Goblin. That felt extremely rushed. Mm-hmm. With Norman Osborn in the original, as Willem Dafoe takes that character. I feel like he deserves that anger, because he's spent his whole life dedicated to, basically making the super soldier serum. Mm-hmm. And then Harry Osborn's just an upset 18-year-old. Like, he's just pissed off. Because he's dying. I mean, he's dying, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm surprised that they even went with the Green Goblin. Isn't there like so many other villains they could have used?
Yeah, but even then, they still, like, they tackled Rhino, kind of, like, at the very end. Which I don't really like Paul Giamatti as Rhino.
How dare you?
I don't know. His character's weird. But yeah, I think the first, like, Andrew Garfield's pretty good. Yeah, he's a good actor. Solid movies though. I think I'm very excited to see how Electro makes that transition from his look in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 versus this one, because it's very drastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like the other one. I think overall, with that duology, it's pretty solid. There, like, there's a lot of focus on his parents, which I really like.
Oh, a lot of people didn't like that.
Well, I don't know how, like, comic accurate it is, but I kind of liked it just felt real, and it felt new, because Tobey Maguire's didn't really cover that at all.
Mm-hmm.
It just...
Yeah.
If you're gonna reboot the franchise, might as well start with something new, and it felt fresh.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And then
solid.
Tom Holland's trilogy I started. It just feels very I don't know. It to watch them back to back is like you get whiplash, because you have so much character development as far as like who Peter Parker is, what he stands for, and then you have Iron Man Jr.
Yeah.
And I think they're setting that up to a fault, because we don't really know a whole lot of Peter Parker in the MCU and like what he stands for. And I know that we don't really need to cover the Uncle Ben story. It's kind of done with.
Yeah.
But I feel like in order for at least me to care more about Tom Holland's Peter Parker, I feel like I need to see that a little bit, because it's such a big thing in this character story that we just don't even know about.
Couldn't you make the argument that Iron Man was sort of the Uncle Ben?
I guess so. Yeah, that's solid. But even then, we didn't learn more about him as a character. I don't know. It just feels so weird that we have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield who like embody that character so well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tom Holland. I mean, he's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but I think just given what he's written, or what's written for him,
yeah,
there's not much he can do.
It feels like they hired him for Civil War.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, I guess we'll give him some movies. I mean, I'm sure that's not how it happened, but that's how it feels. Because he was really good in that. He was good as like an ensemble. But yeah, his movies just like, I don't know. Homecoming was pretty good from what I remember. Far From Home, I didn't like it as much. And he doesn't really have like, kind of like what you said, like when we talk about Tobey or Andrew, we have this idea of who they were, what they brought to the character, how they played him. Like, we have all these like opinions about him, and Tom Holland's kind of just there.
Yeah,
he's like an ornament in the tree. To get festive, he's like the ornament in the tree of the MCU. Not as remarkable. He's not the star on his own tree.
Yeah, I think what it boils down to is, for me, Spider-Man, his big thing is like responsibility. I mean, like that saying. And I after watching the first two, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, you get that sense of responsibility that Spider-Man has because of the situations that his loved ones are put in, and like his whole identity. And it feels lesser in Tom Holland's, like that sense of responsibility that he has, which I think that this upcoming movie will tackle a lot better, because his entire identity has been revealed to the entire world.
Yeah. Another thing too, to give Tom Holland, to give him some I don't know if I'd give him some credit, but like he is kind of battling the whole, like, it is hard to do well, what is his responsibility as Spider-Man and to the people around him when shit like Thanos happens.
That's true.
So it is hard to like if you think about it, the other Spider-Man sorry.
Yeah, they only had to deal with their neighborhood.
Exactly. So it's kind of like putting him, like you said, the weird, I think it was just a weird spot that they introduced him where all this shit was going on and Spider-Man's there, you know? I do like the way they introduced him. I thought it was fun, you know?
Yeah.
Whenever they go to Queens and we kind of know who he's going to go to. And I don't know. I feel like it is hard to build a character the way that he was introduced. So I guess to give him a little bit of credit. But yeah, like you said, I'm excited. That's why I'm excited for this one, because I feel like those other movies, even though they were his movies, I feel like I didn't get to know him as much. And I don't know if it's just because I'm like really, for some reason, I'm like oddly really hyped for this movie. I'm really excited to see that. And this movie better make me fucking cry.
Yeah.
I haven't cried. I don't think I've ever cried during like a superhero movie, or at least an MCU movie. I feel like this one's gonna get me, but not because of him, because two other characters that might come into play.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I'm excited. Very excited, because I feel like I really like Homecoming and Far From Home as far as like the villains. Like Michael Keaton knocks it out of the park in Homecoming. Like that scene, like I can't think about it enough. That scene where he figures out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man in the car. It's so perfect.
Michael Keaton is just so good.
And Mysterio, I know it's believable. I mean, like, you know he's a villain just because of the background of the character. But you can kind of see from, you know, Peter Parker's perspective how gullible and, you know, not responsible he is.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm glad. Hopefully he'll get that sense of responsibility in this one.
I mean, I think he has no choice but to.
Yeah. So what do you think will happen?
Okay, I have a couple. So we're gonna do predictions, but also like wishes of what we wish would happen, but is probably not going to. So my predictions, I have 3. The first one is that I think Happy is gonna die.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think somebody's gonna die. I don't think it's gonna be a main person. I don't think they're at that point yet.
Yeah, he has a pretty big role in the other 2. Like rewatching it, it was surprising to me how much. Like I didn't remember him being such a big part, but he truly does.
Yeah, so I think that would be like, I think it's gonna happen early on. Like, you know, the trailer, how they have that scene where he's in the car and it looks like an explosion's happening. Aunt May's running through something. I think that's gonna be like at the very beginning, and then
the pumpkin bomb. You think Green Goblin's gonna kill Happy?
I don't know if it's Green Goblin. Maybe. I just think that one of them is gonna die. And I was telling Sebastian, I don't know if this is too in the weeds, but it's kind of hard for me to believe that like after Doctor Strange tells him all these villains are gonna die because that's their fate, that's the sole reason that he wants to save them or save the multiverse, something like that. I feel like after he learns what the multiverse is and that there's like different possibilities, that maybe if Happy dies, or even if Aunt May dies, a lot of people think that she's gonna die, that he thinks there's some way he can go into the multiverse and save them, or get, you know what I mean? Like bring one of them back, something like that. So I think that's why it's gonna happen at the beginning, because that's gonna be one of the like conflicts, is that he, even though Doctor Strange is like, well, we gotta tie this shit up and put them back or kill them or something, that Peter's gonna be like, okay, but like if there's a chance, I'm gonna try. So that's why I think that's gonna happen.
That would be good, because it would even add more to that, you know, sense of responsibility, because, you know, they're gone. Even though you want to bring them back and you have the chance, or to like take one from another universe.
That's what I mean. Like, and then another thing too that goes with that is, especially when he learns that some of these villains, I think, some of them are supposed to be dead, but somehow, because they've, you know, he's fucked up the multiverse, they're alive. And so I think in his mind he's like, oh, okay, then that means Happy's alive somewhere, or maybe even Tony.
Or even Uncle Ben. Like, we don't know anything about him.
I don't think if they did Uncle Ben, though, I think that would be, I mean, even though all of us know who that is and like how important he is, they haven't built that enough. If they just like bring him out of nowhere, I feel like that would be kind of weird. My next one is, I think that one theory people have of MJ falling and the Spider-Man that actually reaches for is Andrew. I think that's actually going to happen. That seems like something that MCU would definitely do. And along with that, well, I guess that's one of my wishes. But I think that's for sure 100% going to happen. And I think he's going to say some cheesy line about how he didn't want it to happen again, something like that. My last one is that so some people think, I've heard some things floating around that Tom Holland Spider-Man's going to die. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to get stuck in a different universe.
Okay.
And I think that's where that No Way Home comes from, because we think that it's going to be about the villains, but I think he's going to get stuck somewhere.
Oh, that's a solid theory. Like, I'd like that. Like the after
and that's how it
scene
ends. Like, we don't know exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
And maybe the multiverse he gets stuck in, and somehow he gets his wish of wanting to like reverse the time. It's the universe where Venom's in.
But
and I was going to say that's one of my wishes, but I think I'm going to predict that he's going to be in this movie.
Venom's going to be in it?
Yes. Either
I think he'll be in the after credits.
Post credits. Yeah, I think he's going to be probably in the first post credit, because I'm sure
I think there's only one.
There's only one?
The second is the Doctor Strange trailer, the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
Is that your prediction, or you know that?
I remember reading that somewhere.
Okay. Well, I think Venom's going to be in it, and yeah, I think that's a good way to end it, and that's a good, really suspenseful thing, is for Tom Holland to get stuck in the multiverse somewhere, because that would lead pretty seamlessly into Doctor Strange's movie. Maybe not, but like that would be one of the side plots where he's like, "Fuck, Peter's somewhere. I need to get him."
I gotta get Peter. I
those
didn't
are my
even
predictions.
think about that. That's cool.
So,
I also think Happy's gonna die. Obviously we're gonna see.
Watch in the theater when he dies. We're gonna be like, everybody's gonna be crying.
Yes, I was right.
God damn it! Like, check
I
it
think
off.
obviously we're gonna see the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
I mean, think that's pretty much a given at this
almost
point.
a given.
I just am excited for when.
Right.
I don't know.
But I think one of them is gonna die. Probably Tobey Maguire. Probably Tobey Maguire's. I think.
Sorry, that was so funny. Okay.
And I think he's gonna die. It's gonna be like full circle. I think Green Goblin's gonna use his glider, and I think one of the villains is gonna off one of the Spider-Men.
Ooh.
Because we've never seen that.
That would be interesting. I would say I don't think people would like to see that, but after what they did in what was it, Infinity War, I don't put it past them.
Oh, wait, what do you mean in Infinity War?
Was Infinity War they where we saw a bunch of them go into dust?
Oh yeah.
I would have never thought they would have done that. Even though I knew they were going to bring all of them back, I was very surprised that they ended it like that. And so now I'm like, they could, I don't know. Especially with Spider-Man that's not in their universe. That would make sense.
Yeah. So I think...
I don't know if I can handle it, though. Sorry, go on.
That would be crazy. Or I think one of the villains is going to bite the dust, again.
Yeah.
But either one of them's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it would be an intentional death, because maybe it's like Tom Holland's recklessness with trying to save them will ultimately kill one of them, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that."
That could be a good one. Yeah, that could be some good character development.
Or maybe the other ones are like, I'm done. Like, I killed you once, you're basically dead, so I'm gonna kill you again. Like something like that. Or I think we're gonna see a new villain that or not a new villain, but someone we haven't seen in the promotional stuff.
I think they're hiding something. I for sure think they're hiding something.
They're hiding something big.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm genuinely surprised that I haven't seen a spoiler.
Me too. I
just gotta say,
learned
props
how to
to the community for
Props. I learned how to mute words on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter. I did that. I have not been on TikTok because I'm terrified.
Yeah, I was on TikTok this morning for a little bit, and
you
yeah,
were
it was it was scary.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I'm very surprised.
I even read a couple of articles, and they were like, we're not going to spoil it for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep on seeing the official movie's Twitter page tweet that really weird.
Shut up.
Like shushing
Oh, I
picture.
haven't seen that.
It's like really weird. It just
Of
like looks
Spider-Man?
weird. Yeah, of Spider-Man.
I'll look it up.
Tread lightly. But yeah, I'm very surprised. Very I think this is the largest movie that I've seen where I haven't been spoiled. Like Tony's death was spoiled for me. A lot of things have been unfortunately spoiled.
Mm.
But nothing yet. So that's cool. And I see it in about 12 hours from now.
Yeah, I see it at 3.
So like 6 hours. Insane.
Yeah, not very long.
So those are my predictions. I think like on my wish list, well, like this probably won't happen, but it would be insane if it did.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think the MCU would have this happen, but it would be really cool if they have like a horror like sequence when they introduce Green Goblin, because I feel like he's the scariest villain out of all of them. And Willem Dafoe would be amazing, like just with his cackle or his scream. Like it would play so well if they did just like a horror sequence. Like, I think that would be amazing.
That's a good one. Is that your only wish?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, I have some. I've thought about this more than you, dude. That's weird. All right, so my first wish is that the X-Men will be introduced in this one.
Oh,
and I think it'll be their post-credit. And I think what I told Sebastian, what would be really funny, I don't think they would do it, but what would be really funny is after they, like, if they do tie it up in a bow, Doctor Strange's like, okay, we figured it out. And he like, thinks that they put everybody back in their universe. If, like, you see Storm, like, Halle Berry is there, like, original Storm. And she's like, hey, I don't know where I am, but I feel like you can help me. And
that would
then
be awesome.
the other Storm comes in and is like, yeah, we're both Storm, and this is an issue. Like, I think that would be funny. Or Logan. There's, like, multiple Logans, and he's like, what's happening?
How upset would you be if it was Deadpool?
Deadpool would be fine. I think that would be okay.
Okay.
Because Anthony, I think Sebastian said he has a lot more, in the comics, he has a lot more stuff with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I think that would be cool for, like, Spider-Man lore, I guess. But I do think it'll be X-Men. I guess the biggest wish is somehow Fantastic Four would be introduced. And I think that would only be in, like, if somebody was like, oh, we need to have somebody, like, a great mind on this. And they're like, well, I know this one guy. And they're talking about Reed Richards or something.
Yeah, kind of like in WandaVision where people were thinking that they were going to be introduced. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like because of the ties with WandaVision, I feel like that might be... X-Men might not be introduced until Multiverse of Madness. But I think that's, to me, that is the big thing that they're hiding, is that and that would be perfect for this movie, I feel like, is that they're going to introduce another universe. I think that's a really good, especially a Sony one, if it's Venom, if it's X-Men. I, for one, if they do introduce an X-Men, I want it to be one of the original ones. I do not, the newer ones, I feel like that would be fine, but I want to see Alan Cummings as, who was he, the Night Watch or Night something? Night Watch. Who was he? Nightwing? No,
not Nightwing.
He was
I
got it. Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Why are you up here? What do you want?
Or Patrick Stewart.
You want to say something? Yeah, I want like an original X-Men to be there.
Okay, that gives me a little bit more ideas. So I would also like to see I don't know how they would do this. No, actually I don't want that. What I want is Miles Morales.
Okay, that was I don't have it on the list, but I don't know how they would do it. But what I told Sebastian is it would be very cool if they hid that they cast somebody to be the live action Miles Morales and they didn't. Or if it was Donald Glover, if he was like in it. But sorry, go on.
Because, I mean, I could see maybe Miles Morales from another universe. Like, we still have a Spider-Man in the MCU, in like the MCU's universe.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you predicted that Spider-Man's gone, he's stuck, no way home,
Mm-hmm.
and we got Miles Morales instead. Like,
That would be fucking wild, especially if they like hid that somehow.
that would be a very big hide.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be very
Huge.
impressed.
And I think I didn't think they'd be able to do it until the Harry Styles thing.
Oh yeah,
Because I didn't know. I mean, that was the only thing that was spoiled for me.
yeah,
But I had
it was,
no idea about that. I didn't even heard about it, and that's huge.
Thanos'
So-
brother. They hit it.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Okay. My next one is that, so I feel like, because it goes back to the prediction about the Andrew Garfield's like redemption scene of him saving MJ the way that Gwen died.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to be recreating another scene, or I think they're going to be recreating like a couple of scenes. I don't know which ones, but I need to see Tom Holland dance through with like an emo kind of cut. I think they're going to do, it feels like a lot of the stuff I've been seeing say that it's a very nostalgic movie. And I think it's not only nostalgic because of the characters. I hope it's nostalgic because they recreate some scenes, or even like the train one, something like that. I feel like, to pay homage to the other movies. And my last one, this is the wish of all wishes, is that Kirsten Dunst will be in this movie. That is, I hope to God she is in this movie. I think that'd be very fun. Because she,
Like,
I mean, Tobey Maguire is very nostalgic to me, but for some reason, I like seeing her, I think would get me. I think that would
especially
be a
on
very big thing.
the Spider-Man 2 poster, where they're both on it. That's Spider-Man. How upset would you be if it was just like very minor, like he's like,
That's fine. I just want to see her.
he's like, I fell in love with my, or we, like MJ and I finally got married, and it's like cut to.
That'd be. I just want to see her.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if he just mentions her. I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, those are my wishes. I think the biggest one is that I want to see somebody from a different universe. Because now I'm so deep into the MCU that I'll understand it. I feel like back in the day when there was people that were introduced and like you or Homer or Sebastian were like, whoa, and I'm like, who's that? So I think I
Right.
would like understand it more. No, now for my big question is, do you think you're gonna cry?
Do I think I'm gonna cry? Probably not.
I think I'll shed a few tears. I think you will.
I think the only thing that will get me is if Tobey Maguire's dies, and if they play like his theme.
Oh my god, that should have been my another wish. I have to add a wish. I'm so sorry. Are you done? I want you to continue.
No, yeah, that's pretty much it. If they play his like main theme, and he dies like to it, I'm gone.
That would be pretty sad. But well, one of my wishes is I need to hear that Nickelback song. I need to hear it.
Yes.
Even if it's just like somebody, even if it's like Tom Holland's walking past like somebody that has a radio outside and it's playing, I think I would lose my shit. I would probably
or
have a
someone's
coughing
watching
fit.
the music video.
Oh my god. Oh
that
my
would, yeah, that
God.
would break me. That would break me down mentally, and I would just.
I think I would have a coughing fit. I'd have to leave. I would. What is that one meme where people are like throwing up, crying, pissing, shitting?
Shitting and
Like
crying.
yeah, I would shit myself, piss myself, cry, throw up, have a
That would
panic
be
attack.
insane.
That
It
I
just feels
think
so
that would
unreal
be
that it's happening.
that would make my year. I know. I feel like we're gonna get in there, sit down, and then they're gonna play Spider-Man 1, like the very first one, and I'm like, they're like, oh, got you.
It does feel super unreal.
I'm super excited. I don't know why. Like I've never been this huge a fan of, like when the Andrew Garfield one came out, even when like the Tom Holland ones, I wasn't this excited.
Yeah,
But
I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, there's just been so much hype for it. Okay, one wish list, I guess, is because we haven't seen any Osborns or any of like the traditional, like friends. Like we have MJ, we don't have. I don't think we have Gwen Stacy.
mm-mm.
Definitely none of the Osborns like in the MCU. I think that I know there's gonna be another trilogy, or there's talks to be another trilogy where it's like the college, like his college years.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be fantastic to have a introduction to that. Like, I think if Green Goblin dies and people are speculating that Ned's gonna be Hobgoblin, that would be cool to see. I mean, that, like, if Green Goblin dies, I can see that trickling into Ned becoming Hobgoblin.
I don't know if he will, though. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
I don't know. I don't really know that theory too well, and I don't know Hobgoblin that well. But I think an introduction to the Osborn family would be cool, because I know I've seen a video where it's an interview where I think the interviewer asks Tom Holland, like, who bought Stark Tower? And he's like, oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't say it, and he tells Zendaya.
So people think it was Reed Richards.
I could see it being Reed Richards. I could also see it being Oscorp.
That makes sense. I haven't seen that theory. I saw some theory that it was, or I guess, what was it, Doom? Dr. Doom or something that he did? Something like that.
That would be amazing if they introduced the Fantastic Four. Not even them, just Victor Von Doom.
I think they have to. It has to. That's one thing I kind of would be disappointed about if they don't show any sort of, like, no Deadpool, X-Men, nobody. If they don't show anybody, I would be like, what was the point of this? I don't know. I wouldn't be that dramatic, but I would be so upset because this is such a good time to do it.
Oh, it's perfect.
Or if what if it's like it is Ryan Reynolds, but it's him from Red Notice? Or who? What? The Rock? Who is he again? Black Adam?
That's DC.
Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't.
That would be insane, man. They just start like Batman.
Aquaman's
Superman.
in there, dude. What if like Oscar Isaac, but not even Spider-Man, not X-Men from fucking Dune,
from Ex Machina.
Oh my god.
Just like working out.
I think that's it for our predictions and.
Yeah, I think that's it for the first.
I think we have solid. I was scared when I said this last night that I was like, what if I have no predictions? What if I'm like, the movie's gonna happen? I don't know. But I think we have some solid stuff to look back on and be like, well, we're idiots or we're geniuses and we should have written this movie.
I think this is like we're in like that golden time of like this movie where the possibilities limitless. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm excited to see it all play out because I'm seeing it in IMAX. Where are you seeing it?
Flicks Brewhouse. I guess I shouldn't say exactly. Well, this won't be out. But yeah, we're going to see it at this theater. It's not an IMAX, but it is a theater that it's like kind of like the Draft House, but better. You went to the Draft House with us, right? And the seats were horrendous. It was not the reclining ones.
Yeah.
But this one is a reclining seat. And the trays. Sorry, I have to move my couch. So the trays, they flip. This is such a tangent. But they flip to the side. Like when you get there, they're on the side. And so you have to like move them towards you. And it goes right in front of you. So if you're eating or something, you know how some places you have to eat to the side or you have to like move eat forward. All weird. It goes directly. Yeah, it goes directly in front of you. And it reclines. The food is pretty good. Yeah.
Yo, they don't pay us for this. I just want to make that clear. They don't pay
but
us for
I'm very excited because I really like this theater. And it was super easy to get tickets because almost nobody goes to this theater.
Fantastic. So,
yeah, I'm very excited. I hope I remember to record stuff during. Just record the movie. No.
Not during the movie.
No. While we're getting ready.
Yeah.
Because I'm weirdly nervous. I don't like when movies have huge expectations because it makes me nervous that they're not going to fulfill them and then I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah. But I think the fact that it was able to create this hype and create those possibilities, I think genius marketing for the most part. Oh, yeah. But
what we can leave it at is this one meme. I should have sent it to you. But you remember that scene in Dune between Oscar Isaac and Timothée Chalamet?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, if you don't want to be a leader, it's fine because you'll be what I always wanted you to be, my son. And it was like, it was him and then talking to like the Spider-Man poster. And he's like, if you don't do all these things, it's fine because you'll be exactly what I've always wanted you to be, a Spider-Man movie.
And honestly, yeah.
That's all I want.
Well,
All right.
next time you guys hear from us, we'll be different people, I think. Honestly.
I think so. I should like put this like on its side and like throw some shit in the background. Like my world has changed.
Yeah.
Something will be on here. I don't know what, but something.
R.I.P. Gabi. All right. Well, let's cut to the break, and then when we get back, Spider-Man No Way Home.
We enter the multiverse.
Yeah.
With Spider-Man's identity now revealed, Peter asks Doctor Strange for help. When a spell goes wrong, dangerous foes from other worlds start to appear, forcing Peter to discover what it truly means to be Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home. Directed by John Watts, written by Chris McKenna, Eric Summers, and based on the Marvel comic book by Stan Lee. Starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Critics gave it a 9.2 out of 10 on IMDb, a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, and on Letterboxd it has an average of a 4.4 stars.
Wow.
Very solid. So, let's talk about the movie-going experience, because we can't not talk about that, because it felt like such a momentous thing, at least for me. I'm sure it was for you.
Yeah. Well, we went to a theater by my apartment. It was still packed. It's a theater that usually not a lot of people go to, but it was still, I think, probably sold out. Yeah, it was really fun, especially because we had a theater, or the theater I went to has servers, and a lot of them were dressed up. Like, there was this girl that was dressed up as Spider-Gwen. Is that her name? Spider-Gwen. Sebastian said one of them was dressed up as like a full Miles Morales, like even with the Jordans, like everything.
Nice.
There was cool. Those are mostly the servers. There's obviously people in attendance that were dressed up. One guy had the full Spider-Man, costume, outfit, whatever you call it. Two people had the same exact outfit, and it was Tobey Maguire Spider-Man when he when he would like first started out, and he went to that like cage match thing.
Yeah,
that
the wrestling
outfit.
match. That's
Yeah.
cool. I would like that shirt, like the spray painted.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
I've
a really
seen
fun
people make
outfit.
it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And the bandit mask, or like the ski mask.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. One of them had on golfing gloves too.
Oh.
The other one didn't, but one of them did. I think that's what he had on, right? They're not golfing gloves, but it was like gloves.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good atmosphere. Got like a limited edition tub thing. It's kind of like a thin plastic, so not that cool.
I saw.
But still.
I was really sad when we got to the theater because they didn't have anything like that. But because Homer sent me a picture of the one that he got, or I guess it's the same one.
Yeah, we both got it.
Which looked really cool. But
it's pretty cool. I'll use it for probably just popcorn at home.
Yeah, I can't imagine using that other than like for that purpose. Well, what about like during was the theater loud? Because I saw some insane videos, like just like
People
like
jumping.
like they were at a concert.
Yeah, I would have been very annoyed by that, but it was pretty normal. There was some guy next to Sebastian that was being kind of annoying. He would just say stuff out loud. Like he would, like what he was thinking, he would just say like just out loud, and it was kind of annoying. But other than that, people were, obviously pretty loud during certain parts, but it wasn't too bad. Homer was saying that he hopes that people are not like, they don't extend it, or you can't understand, like you can't hear what's happening.
Right.
And we didn't have that. Like it was kind of like like a loud moment, but then I think the filmmakers knew a lot of moments were going to be pretty iconic, and we're going to be pretty like, we got to give some breathing room.
Right.
So
yeah.
I didn't miss anything, I don't think. I want to see it again.
Definitely.
But Yeah, it was a good crowd. It made me excited, and it made me like feel like I was at the movies again rather than annoyed,
back.
you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I was the same way with my theater. We got there
I didn't
pretty
cough
early.
throughout. Sorry. Yeah.
We got there at 9:30 for our 10:15 showing, so we were just sitting there in the lobby. And cuz we were waiting for the theater to open cuz I guess they just like stacked cuz it's just such a big movie. The show times. So they were leaving and Kayla and I were sitting down and we were like they're going to spoil something for us. So we were just like covering our ears and just like talking to each other just to like distract each other so we wouldn't hear anything. Thank God we didn't have anything spoiled for us, but some people are very lax with that.
It's so annoying. I think they just forget, but thank God this time I got the very first showing. So there was no I just whenever we left I made sure to, you know, not say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I realized that this happens a lot for big movies in my town just cuz the how do I say this? Like the likelihood of running into a frat boy is very high in this town. So I was a little scared because the people right behind me, like there was I think a trailer or like right before the movie shows there was like it was like Chevy wishes you a fun movie experience or like have a good show, and they were like yeah Chevy. Like really loud.
That's kind of funny,
I was like,
though. That's a little funny.
But they did that for like every single one. So Kayla and I were a little bit nervous, but it was a really fun experience. Like it was, like that crowd was amazing, and it like you said, the applause wasn't prolonged.
Yeah.
To block any of the dialogue or anything.
It
was good. It was a really fun experience. I'm excited to see how, because I definitely want to see it again. Like you said, I'm excited to see if it'll be the same or like how different it'll be.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be kind of weird. It'll be maybe a little bit more cringy because I'm somebody who hates when people enjoy things. No, I'm kidding. I just get like annoyed when some people like, there's certain things that kind of make me cringe. And weirdly, this movie, I don't remember anything that like made me cringe a lot from like the reactions. But I don't know what I was talking about.
There were a couple of moments where I like chuckled and no one else in the theater laughed, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm that guy."
Oh, so that's what I mean about like. I feel like it'll be with less people. There's bound to be somebody that is seeing it for the first time, so it might be a little bit cringier because it's a lot like. It's not as
momentous for them. But
yeah, and there's not as much reactions like that, so it might just be the one person. Like that one time, remember we went to go see Midsummer with our family? We were the only people laughing, like that. But we'll be on the other end of it, where we're like, "Why? What the hell's happening?"
That's funny.
But yeah,
but that's good. I'm glad that we both had like good experiences.
Yeah, me too.
So, what are your thoughts? Without spoiling anything.
Oh yeah, this is the no spoilers part of it. I really liked it a lot. As a movie, I think I have to be a little bit more separated from it because I still am like there's still a little bit of like I don't know if it was good or if I just like, you know, everything that happened just like I enjoyed. You know what I mean? Like I need to be a little bit more separated from it, but I think I'm confident enough to say that it was a very, very solid movie overall. And I think even when I watch it in like a year, or I guess maybe this week if I watch it, or if I watch it next year, or whenever I watch it again, I think I'll still enjoy it. It won't be like an Endgame where I watched it, you know, this year, and I'm a lot separated from it, and I'm like that's not a good movie. Yeah. Because I think this movie, kind of like the plot says, it really does show it feels like not only a lesson that Tom Holland Spider-Man has to learn, but also just a reminder for people like me who haven't revisited any of the other Spider-Man movies before this, just a reminder of who Peter Parker is at his core. even without, like, if you strip away a lot of the, like, MCU kind of fanfare that comes with being an Avenger, you know, when you strip that all away, it's Peter Parker. And I kind of forgot what that means, you know.
Yeah, and that I honestly, like, every criticism that I had for Tom Holland's Peter Parker and that I talked about, they addressed.
Fuck me.
Like,
yeah. And they did it in such a, like, I truly am amazed by how the way they did it was genius. And the way they did it, the reason it's genius is because I didn't even, unless I'm just dumb, but I didn't even realize it was happening until it was done.
Right.
Until when the credits rolled and I was just sitting there and I was like, holy shit. Like, I just realized what they had did.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that's not, I don't think that's spoilers.
No, I think, like, this one stands out completely from the other two. I mean,
yeah.
Because
when you say the other two, you mean like the other two Tom Holland movies?
Yeah, Far From Home and Homecoming. Like,
okay.
Like this one, like, it's just a complete tonal shift in the best way possible, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
so it's so hard not to spoil anything, but yeah.
I think he just really comes into his into the Peter Parker sense, like that, the character. But it is a complete tonal shift. Like, I think it's darker, but in the way that, like, Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's, like, I felt like it matched the tone of those. And I think the reason I was, like, so shocked when I rewatched those other ones to go from the Amazing Spider-Man duology to Homecoming and Far From Home, like, those other movies focused on Peter Parker so much, and this one and Far From Home and Homecoming, just like I said in, I think, the earlier part, it just felt like they were, like, he was just Iron Man Jr., you know?
Yeah.
Like, that was a big plot point in Far From Home when, you know, the letter that came with the glasses, you know, to the next Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like, what, you know?
Yeah.
So, I absolutely loved it. I think, for me, like, I feel like this movie was made exactly for me. And like I was what's the,
like, what does Anthony want?
Yes.
Put it in.
Because, like, if you think about it, like, the point I am in my life, I feel like my childhood is over, or at least, like, you know, it's done. I'm an adult now, and you could argue that was when I graduated high school. But I feel so definitive now because I have, like, a job lined up and I'm finishing up college. And this movie felt perfect in the sense that, like, Peter Parker goes through the same thing where he's done being Iron Man Jr. Like, he's his own person now. And it just, the parallels in the things that in the, like, thought process that he had throughout this movie, I was just like, man, this is unreal. And to have a movie that spoke to me that much on the scale that it is, insane.
And I think a big thing too about being an adult is making really hard decisions.
Right.
And that was, like, this entire movie. It's just he had to make a lot of decisions. Yeah. Okay. I mean, if I talk more, I probably will spoil something. So, I do want to talk about the stuff that we can. And I want to... The thing I guess we could talk about is performances. So, like, Doctor Strange, I think it's... how do I say this? I don't know. He's not really been my favorite character to see on screen. Like, I don't really care for him as much. And honestly, even maybe this is my only gripe with this movie, and I don't even know if it has anything to do with the movie, but just the way this character's written. But I feel like I don't really know who he is. And maybe I need to watch Doctor Strange again. But I just don't know anything. Like, any of the decisions he makes, any of the, like, the way that he treats people, like, I don't know anything about this guy.
I think you would probably benefit from a rewatch. of
Probably, because I
Doctor
don't really,
Strange.
I don't know, I really like that movie, but yeah.
But I think Multiverse of Madness, it'll have that
I'm
same
sure it
effect.
will.
I think that this one
Yeah.
did, where Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and I think you'll have
Yeah.
a more definitive sense, which I don't think it's necessarily the movie's part. It might be just your background knowledge.
I also don't think if I'm remembering correctly, the first movie, all it really established that he's an asshole, and now he's less of an asshole, which
Kind of.
okay, I don't know. That's one thing I kind of have a gripe with MCU is that they feels like they don't really have a good, they don't start a character with a solid, what's the word? They don't start their characters with solid, groundwork. I feel like they just kind of go along as they figure it out as they go, which is fine, but it's hard to do that when you don't know who your character is at its core, especially when you're making so many changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of. There's some origin stories I'm thinking of though that I haven't seen, but I am excited to see him more, and I did like him in this movie.
Yeah. I was surprised by his how well I liked him. I thought it was just gonna be, I don't know. I just wasn't expecting much, and
he was pretty
from him.
solid. Yeah, I think maybe my whole thing is I just need to watch the Doctor Strange again. I love Benedict Cumberbatch though. I just wanted him to be the guy from Power of the Dog the entire time, just really mean.
Just rolling up a cigarette.
Yeah, burning Tom Holland's handmade paper flowers. Okay, and then the villains. So we can talk about the villains because that's confirmed. Everybody knows they're going to be in there. Not as in depth, but I just want to talk about Willem Dafoe. As soon as we left, I told Sebastian that's why I call him that bitch, because he truly is that bitch. He's so fucking good.
He went feral. Legit, he really did it all.
There's this one tweet I should have saved it. With someone who was like, Willem Dafoe, he acts the shit out of everything. I don't know what the fuck everybody else is doing, but he acts, man.
Yeah.
Man, he's so fucking good.
Unbelievable. I think if I didn't, I don't know. It's just I need to rewatch it mainly for his performance, because
yeah,
he really was I hate this phrase, but the tour de force.
Tour de force, yeah.
Truly.
He's so fucking good. And the first time we saw him, I don't know if they use CGI or anything, but I looked at Sebastian and I said, man, he looks fucking good. He's still got it.
He's rocking it.
He looks amazing. Yeah. I think he said too, I don't know if this is a rumor, but I think he said in an interview that when they asked him to come back, he said the only way he would do it is if he could do his own stunts.
Yeah, that, and he said that he'd want a minor role. I saw that.
How dare you ever give Willem Dafoe? If he ever grants you his time, you'd never give him a minor role. Honestly, if he would have said, I want to be Spider-Man, I would have been like, yeah, do it.
Reasonable.
Yep, they won't know. You kind of look like Tom Holland.
Yeah, he was insane.
He was on a rampage, that man.
I have so much to say about to spoil shit.
Yeah.
So go listen. There'll
to the
definitely
spoiler
be
episode.
timestamps. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff where I was like, wow, insane.
And I don't. He has such a fucking chokehold on that character that I truly think he. I guess the only comparison I can think of is how people are I don't know if you ever can touch Joker anymore. I mean, you can, right. But it's
what's the point?
You can try, but look at Jared Leto. But I think and no, I love Dane DeHaan, but he was kind of, and he didn't play. I mean, it's kind of different, but there was no fucking chance. There was no way he could have ever even gone close.
I would have been like, are you guys sure about this? I don't know.
I can't even imagine. Even if because you know how sometimes Marvel or just Sony, anybody who does a movie like this, when they audition people, they don't tell them exactly what it's for. The moment I learned it's Green Goblin, I would be oh, okay, fuck me, I'm not doing this. Count me out. 100% count me out.
I honestly, I can't see anyone else doing that role, doing it any justice, especially after this performance. Get out of here, man.
No, and he's
There's
gonna.
no way.
It seems like he's gonna live till he's like 150. And honestly, let him do it until then. Let him do it until, and as soon as he's like, I don't want to do Green Goblin anymore. Okay, kill him off. We can't do it. Nobody else can ever, like, and not even just in the movies, in the comics, like everywhere. Don't ever show his face ever again.
Green Goblin is Willem Dafoe. Like that's it.
Truly. Who else did you like? Jamie Foxx. I think this felt like a redemption for him as well.
Yeah, I didn't,
because they did him dirty in the first one too, or in his original Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, the character was more confident in themselves. I don't know.
He's funnier too.
Yeah.
When you have another person, when you have Jamie Foxx in a movie, just let him be Jamie Foxx.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Alfred Molina.
That bitch
did it. Truly.
He's so good.
I don't know how to do this without spoiling, because everyone was just so fantastic. I think maybe the only person is the guy who played Dr. Connors. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know about their performance enough. Like, I'd have to give it another rewatch.
He wasn't in it that much anyways, so I feel like that's not that big of a deal. I forgot the other guy's name, the sand guy.
Flint Marko.
He's good too. I like that actor.
I do.
I'm kind of sad we didn't. Oh shit. Never mind. Sorry, cut that out. Don't say. Okay.
Yeah, we might have to cut a little bit of that, because I think we're crossing that line.
Oh, was he in the trailers or no?
No, he was. Yeah.
Okay. The performance is really good. The storyline is very succinct, very like, I was kind of scared with how many people just from the trailers that they showed they were going to be in this movie. I was kind of scared about how conflicting it would be. But I should have known that, like, if Marvel's involved in it, it's fine.
Yeah. I think because at first I was like, yeah, this movie's the best thing I've ever seen. Obviously, I'm just like the biggest fan. But I was like, okay, let me like think about this. Let me like critically analyze it. And then I was like, okay, maybe some of the plot's a little weird. Yeah. But then I was like, you know what? Like, it fits for a Spider-Man movie. And I think that's the thing.
I think another non-spoiler critique I have, though, some scenes were too long. Some of the dialogue was awkward to the point where it was like, oh, like, I cut away from this, please. That was the only thing, and I've noticed that as a trend in movies, though. Like, it was kind of like House of Gucci-esque, where I was like, why is this scene this long? Please cut it down. We can talk about more in depth why I think they did that, why they like let it linger a little bit, but I still don't agree with it. Okay. But yeah, I think the editing could have been a little bit more, especially when you, like, if you have the gall to make a 2-hour and 49-minute movie, you better cut that fat out.
Yeah.
Don't let it linger. Are you kidding? I'm still here, sitting here for 2 hours, and it's, man. Another thing I'll say though, even though I'm like critiquing how long the movie is, it didn't feel that long.
Oh,
it felt like pretty solid. Like, if you would have been like, oh, actually, I was joking, it was 1:40, then I'd have been like, oh, that just felt like that. It didn't feel that long.
Yeah, so. I got out at like 1:00, and I was like, so I think I was just like exhausted, but I felt like emotionally also exhausted, because I was like it's 1:00 in the morning. This is a
very emotional movie, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I feel so drained after this experience. Like, mainly because it was 1:00, but I think my brain was also like, yeah, it took a lot out of you. You need a break.
You need a rest. And that's why we're recording this a day after.
Yeah.
We needed a moment.
Honestly, fantastic movie.
Very good.
I cannot wait to like physically own it and just like watch it whenever, because that'll be awesome.
And then there's probably gonna be extended scenes, maybe. That'd be cool.
I know.
Behind the scenes stuff.
I'm excited to watch all that. I haven't. So I ranked all of the live action Spider-Man movies.
Ooh.
Uh,
That's
just
difficult.
just because I watched them all recently in preparation of this movie.
All right, let's start from the bottom and let me know.
From the bottom. Oh, I didn't add Far From Home,
Oh my
but I'll just like mentally add it. The bottom is Spider-Man 2 or The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Mm-mm.
Not Spider-Man 2. I don't want. Please.
How
I don't
dare
want people
you?
to think that I think Spider-Man 2.
As soon as you said that, they turned it off and unfollowed and disliked.
After that, coming in at number 7, I think would be Far From Home.
I agree
Spider-Man
with that.
Far From Home. Then The Amazing Spider-Man. That's number 6,
Okay.
I think, or something.
Can I say, is this a... well, never mind. Go on. Sorry.
Then number 5, Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Then Spider-Man Homecoming. Honestly, mainly because of Vulture. Like, he's a perfect villain.
Okay.
Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 2, Spider-Man No Way Home. Then number 1
Yeah, and then number 1 is Spider-Man.
is the original Spider-Man.
I think I would say that's my exact... That would be also mine.
Truly?
My exact ranking. I think so. Because I don't like Homecoming as much as a lot of people do. I think a lot of people would rank it higher, but I don't think it's as good.
I would not edit.
It's pretty high if I'm ranking MCU. But Spider-Man movies, no.
For sure. I will say, like, out of all of the like character movies, like this is like it was hard to make that list because like they're all for the most part consistently like besides the Amazing Spider-Man 2,
Mm-hmm.
they're all like consistently really good.
So, does this change your ranking of the Spider-Men in general? Because I'm assuming yours is the same. Before this was Tobey, Andrew, and then Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I think mine is the same. Even though I really love this movie, I think mine it doesn't change it.
I completely agree. I think I definitely get a more appreciation.
Oh, yeah. Instead of being like, like Andrew here and he's like down there, he's like, very close.
Yeah, it's like douche, 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 like.
Yeah.
Right. They're all very close. But honestly, I think that's because, like, this feels like the first Spider-Man movie that...
he's done.
Or, no, it feels like the first Peter Parker movie that Tom Holland has had.
Yes, I agree. I think, though, if he had... And I don't know... This isn't a spoiler, I don't think, because it's more of, like, contracts and shit. I don't know if he has more contracts with them. But if he does have more opportunities, maybe. Just how this one left off, I think he has a lot of good groundwork to be a really good Peter Parker.
A lot of room.
Yeah.
To become fantastic. Even better. And I don't want people to think that we just, like, shit on Tom Holland. Like, I think he's fantastic.
No, I think what Sebastian told me that... I won't say this is his opinion because I don't remember if he said that, but he said that at least he heard this, kind of opinion before and he agreed with it. And I agree with it too, that Tobey feels like he was really, really good at being Peter Parker. He's like the perfect Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew was really, really good at being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then Tom is... like, they're both ends of the spectrum, and Tom is kind of in the middle where he's, like, kind of good at both, but not great at either.
Yeah.
And I think that's the perfect way to word it. But I think like we're alluding to, I'm not upset that he is Spider-Man. I think I was when he first got cast, because I was like, another British white guy. Surprise. But, like, I think he's doing a lot of good things with the role. And I really... If he is allowed, I guess, contract-wise, I guess. I don't know what... I think there was something in the news about some contract thing. But if they're allowing him to do more stuff with this, then I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I would be excited to see that.
Same here. Well, I think that's as far as we can get without getting into spoiler territory. I don't know if you have anything else to say.
Without telling y'all that Iron Man's back. Oh, shit. No, I'm kidding.
Iron Man's back, and then they kill him again.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think that's fine. I feel good about that.
Okay.
But I think we have a spoiler-filled episode right after this. I don't know. Is it released on the same day? I guess you'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be on the same day. We'll have, paired with this one, we'll have a completely spoiler-filled bonus episode.
Yeah,
where
the snow is coming off.
Spoilers.
I am going to do that. I'm just going to put spoilers.
All right, well, thanks for listening to episode 106. Please go watch this movie, man.
Or if you don't have time, just go on Twitter or TikTok because it's fully on there. I've seen full scenes from this movie.
Really?
On both, yes.
Oh, I didn't know about TikTok. I saw one scene on Twitter this morning.
Oh, I've seen one scene multiple times. I've seen so much shit. So, yeah, go on there, or I guess avoid it if you haven't seen it yet. But
yeah.
People are annoying.
I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Bye.